Hello, Dirty Trucking. I done made it to Elkhart, Indiana with this damn overweight load on the drives. It wasn't the trailer, it was the drives. I left the weigh station and actually went and scaled the load. Stopped at the Marathon Travel Center, the Paramount Travel Center here in Michigan. And as you can see, the weights, the heavy weight is on the drives. The officer kept mentioning something about the trailer, so he didn't think it was on the trailer tires. It's on the drive. So the weights are steer 10,000, drive axle is 36,620, and the trailer is 29,080. Total gross weight was 75,700. So we legal on gross weight, but we are overweight on the drive. You can see that. It's gonna be backwards, but if you can see that, 36,620. And some of y'all would look at that and say, slide the fifth wheel forward. We can't. We're hauling containers. If I slide this fifth wheel forward, it's going to put the back end of this trailer right at the trailer legs, and the minute I turn, it's going to rip them off. We can't. So I had to get to the customer and open the back door and see what was happening. So I saw what was happening, and I took an immediate picture as one single. And these are those big white satchels of that powder shit that we haul. About the height of the trailer. So I opened the door, I see it's one bag in the back and then two, and I snapped a picture. So I went in there and asked the deliverer to let me go on the dock and take a picture. Asked them, is this loaded the exact same way the same time? She said yes. The bags are 2 by 2 from the front all the way to the rear, and then you got that one single bag on the back. So evidently the single bag should have been in front, then you go 2 by 2, and then it would have took some of that excessive weight off the front, hopefully. And that doesn't guarantee it. Maybe you might not need to be hauling 19 bags here. Maybe you need to drop it down to 18 or 17, but put one bag up front and then the 2 by 2 to the back. Maybe you need not haul that many bags if it can't weigh out, if it's going to be over on the axles, because this container, you can't slide the fifth wheel. And I'm going to get out and show you why. Because if I slide the fifth wheel forward, as you will see if you look at that scale, slide it forward, throw the weight off. Chassis, this chassis is a 40-foot chassis. There is no sliding the tandems on this 40-foot chassis. And if I slide the fifth wheel forward, yes, it probably would have took some of the weight off. But now we're endangering or ripping the legs off or damaging the back end of the truck if I turn. Because now the back end of the truck is going to be right at the trailer legs. So that's why we can't slide it. I'm going to show you what we're talking about, because I'm going to show you I got enough room to slide it. So I'm going to go outside and I'm going to let you see the fifth wheel. Hold on. So, but this incident, this falls on the shipper. The company's already sent safety. Immediately you send safety, any violation tickets, I send that immediately. And I stopped after I left the weigh station. Like I said, I got me a CAT scale to verify, so they have some verification and compare what the officer scales, what the weight scale said, because you know sometimes this shit ain't calibrated right, and you just need to know. Because I came here once before, this exact location I came to before with the same amount of bags. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe that day the scale possibly might have been closed, and I can't remember if it was open or not. I might believe that if I'm not mistaken, I believe that day the scale coming this way was closed. But if it wasn't, and they got me going through green lighted, and these bags are loaded the exact same way, then we most definitely gonna have a problem. Because I can't exactly remember if the scale was closed coming with this load or with another load just going down 94. So I'm not sure, but if I did go through a scale with this load previously coming to Elkhart, I believe that was last week, and they got me coming through that green light and the weights was all right, because these people said it's loaded the exact same way, then we got a problem. Then that means something wasn't calibrated. But I go to the CAT scale and it's showing it's over on the drives. So Ain't nothing I can do. That's out of my hands. It's picked up in the rail yard. One commenter asked, what's the procedure? What could I have done if I had picked it up, scaled it, and found out it was overweight? What's the procedure? With containers, if it's overweight coming out the rail yard and you didn't load it, our company will probably park it at the yard. They had to get in contact with the shipper. They will have to pay for somebody to come out here, break the seal, rework the load to get it loaded right so it'll weigh out, then get it delivered. But it's going to be the shipper because it's the shipper's fault. And this falls on the shipper, so now the shipper gonna have to take care of all that. And you're gonna have to get this shit off my record. I don't do overweight tickets. Because this company, when I first got here, I asked them, do you scale loads? He specifically told me, no, this is why I like to scale loads. Hauling these containers, picking these containers up at the rail yard, you know, where them cranes pick them up, you know, they shift. You can slide that freight in there back and forth. This bags could have slid. I wanted to see if they slid, but they didn't. It's loaded 2 by 2 from the front to the back, and then you got one single bag at the back. When that one single bag should have been in the front, then loaded 2 by 2. And then that would have threw that weight, distributed on the back, because we got enough room for it to go on the back. It's 29080 on the trailer. We got a lot of room. You could throw that 2620 back there. But that don't necessarily mean just because he put that one bag up there, it would adjust it out. We could weigh it out, it'd probably still be overweight, because we cannot slide the fifth wheel because we damaged the trailer legs. They'll put your tractor too far back to the trailer legs. So, because these pretty much hauling these loads is pretty much like hauling drop deck. Drop deck, you need your fifth wheel all the way fucking back, because if you don't, you gonna tab some shit back of your truck or them trailer legs. Because I've hauled drop decks too. All right, so we finna get on out here, and I'm finna let you see my fifth wheel. There, you see. All right, my fifth wheel. See, I got all that room to slide it up, and it would have threw that weight on the front. But here's the problem. Look at the distance to my legs. So if I slide that fifth wheel up, that means this is gonna go back, that's gonna go back, and it's gonna meet up with the trailer, and it's gonna hit up and tear this all that shit off of there. It's gonna tear it off, so we can't. And this chassis, these 40-foot chassis, these, we don't slide these. We don't slide these because the officer looked for something to slide. We don't slide these. That's why he couldn't suggest for me to slide it. So the officer looked, he said, well, I see you don't, these are not sliding channels, you can't slide them. He said, I suggest you not. He didn't want, he said, I suggest you not haul. He didn't say not to haul it, but sorry about that. Somebody, a straggler, come and ask me where the office is. Anyway, the officer, the weight station officer, MSP, suggested, you know, he said you haul it. I said, what can I do? Ain't nothing I can do. We can't get illegal. He said you can't get illegal. So he saw what I saw. He saw if I slide that fifth wheel, it's gonna be back there and it's gonna tear up the trailer legs. So well, I took it on. So he suggested, he said, well, if you pass it other way.